You usually start.
What's going on, guys? This is Couch Nebula, episode
4.
Episode 4 of the podcast. We got Caesar. Say hi, Caesar.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Episode 4, Couch Nebula podcast. This is my boy Shafiq, and I'm Caesar.
Yep, and we got some exciting stuff going on today.
What do we got going on today, Shafiq?
I wanted to talk conspiracy theories with you.
Oh, yeah, you did. You've been talking about this for a couple days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any crazy ones that are really out there that you know about?
Conspiracy theories. I confuse conspiracy theories a lot with creepypastas for some odd reason.
Wait, really?
They go hand in hand to me.
I can understand to a degree. You know, they have Lost Episode 1s. They have.
I mean, those are all like
really
most
cheesy.
of them are fake and really easily cheesy.
Yeah, you have like the Lavender Town one. That's obviously fake. One scared the hell out of me though.
You know what? Conspiracy theories I never delve too deep into.
Really? Okay, it's funny because I did the exact opposite. I
just
watched like a bunch of them. Yeah.
You know what?
Really
The one? Did
them.
you ever hear of the? I forget what it's called exactly, but it's that like cicada 66.
Yeah,
whatever the
that's
fuck.
a
that like internet
ARG
thing where
it's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle where like it's like insane.
That actually went back online too.
Yeah. Like they're active again or whatever.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that because I know a little bit about it, but I don't know totally.
I don't really know too much about it. All I know is it kind of has to do more so with like binary, 0 1 0 0.
Well, basically what it is like they were like little puzzles
that people had to decipher.
They weren't obvious puzzles though. It wasn't like, oh, here's this and solve it.
No, someone like figured it out and then it was like, oh well, here, good job. Here's another one, and then it's like deeper and deeper and deeper essentially.
Yeah. What I've heard is people think it's some sort of recruitment tool for the CIA or something.
I've heard that too,
or the
actually.
FBI.
Yeah. The thing with that is like some people think like, they said that was the exact thing, but then the entire company for Cicada 366, whatever it's called, just completely went dark. And now it's online again. I don't know why it is, but
well, I mean, they need more recruits. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
What's the difference between the FBI and the CIA? Which one is like the secret guys?
I want to say the CIA, but I don't quote me on that because I don't know information like that.
Okay.
But yeah. I was looking
that's a big one that I know.
Okay, so you have that, the ARG.
What else do you got?
Well, there was one that I found out about this airport. I forget. I think it was in like Arkansas or something. Basically, it has this.
You just say Arkansas?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I always say that.
America, explain.
yeah. What is this? No. Arkansas. So it was this airport that they spent like this crazy amount of time building. Really long time, and there was always like I forgot which company, but they went in and they like asked a bunch of people what is actually going on in this airport. And for starters, there's this blue stallion. It's huge and it has like these yellow eyes.
What, like a statue?
Yeah, it's a statue,
okay.
Big statue, but it's kind of like an aqua color essentially.
Okay.
Maybe like your shirt, like that color.
Okay.
So it's like that, and if it's like dark outside and you'd use a flash, it has red eyes. So that's a weird thing that goes on with it. They also have these murals everywhere, and it has weird shit. Like it has like people dying like at the bottom, and it has like children and like grown-ups and like the military on top like looking down upon these people, and it's really weird stuff. But basically, a lot of the townspeople, a lot of the people from Arkansas, I believe, don't quote me on that, they think that there's like something going on. Like they're like if I remember correctly, like they're housing, like bunkers in case any like crazy shit happens, like the end of the world type of shit. Either that, or it's like a little hut for anyone that's in like the 1%, essentially. All these like really powerful politicians, people like that. Obviously, put on your tin hats, your tinfoil hats, people, because we're going in hot. But that's one of the ones I heard, and it's kind of crazy.
That's
another one that I heard.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I forget the name of the airport, but it was like I even looked at the airport like.
You know what? No, I have heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I've heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the statue too, but it's like Blue Lucifer or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
There was that one, and I also just saw one recently about how our military like had cats go into Russia but they would like station them, sorta.
They would deploy cats.
They would no. Listen, this was confirmed apparently.
Deploy the boy.
Yeah, they had these cats, and they would deploy them in certain areas so they could like listen in on like enemy conversations,
Well,
like intel.
They would bug the cats. Like
No, they would. Yeah, they bugged the cats. Exactly. They bugged the fucking cats, and I was like, really, guys? You could. I could see birds, but like cats, really? I guess because they're close to the ground, whatever. But like. Really? So that was one of the other ones I heard. Weird stuff. Would you ever go to that type of length to like listen on someone, even if it was like an enemy, like someone you really hate?
When it comes to, well, no, but I can understand why a fucking country would do that.
Yeah, it was Russia. I don't know what time period it was on top of that, but it was like, wow, that's just pretty fucking extensive to get multiple cats. We're talking like at least like 40 or 50 different cats. Place them all over Russia just to listen in. Like, okay, if they're up to something, It's fucking crazy.
Have you ever, this isn't really, well, okay, I'm about to like derail a little bit.
Okay, whatever.
But, no, before I do that, do you have any others to talk
about? Not anything too crazy, too crazy.
Okay. This isn't really a conspiracy theory, because this is like, all this is true, all this has hard evidence.
Yes.
But have you ever heard of the Stanford prison experiment?
Yes, I have. I actually learned about that in psychology.
I learned about it in psychology too.
Yeah.
But that's just such an interesting story to me.
Yeah. If you have the power, I guess, like, we're gonna use it. We gotta beat these people down into submission.
The Stanford prison experiment was something that I forgot what his name was. A professor at Stanford University ran a mock prison.
Yes.
Because he wanted to study the effects that authority has when you give authority
power to people.
When you give power over another human to a group of people.
Yeah.
So he had, I forget how many people, but like he split them up into.
It was like maybe 7, like 7 people that were like the power people.
Yeah,
or maybe 3 or 4.
It was probably like 14 people then.
Maybe.
Something like that, because then they had like split them up, like half were the prisoners and half were the guards. And he encouraged the guards to, they had to treat it like a real prison.
Yeah.
And none of those guards really. Well, I think they did like psychological evaluations on them.
Yeah, I think they might have done that beforehand.
And none of them were.
Like, they were all sound bodies.
They were all chill. Yeah. But when you gave them that authority and that power over the prisoners, they became very sadistic, very violent, brutal. They became very
on your knees, maggot.
People. Yeah, things
shit
like that. They would basically torture them. They would like. Verbally abuse them, call them all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah, they went into it, and it's kind of like, I don't know, I would be confused more or less if I was the prisoner.
And that was the thing. The prisoners then they realize obviously it's a simulation.
Yes.
So then they begin to rebel because they're like, you're not supposed to be doing this shit.
Yeah.
And then it got real crazy.
Yeah.
There's a movie on it, a really, really good movie.
I never actually watched the movie on it, but I am aware of the movie.
It was great. Ezra Miller's in it.
Oh, really?
I forget who else, but a lot of actually like really
renowned,
recognizable actors.
Yeah.
It was good, but shit like that is really interesting to me. Like psychological experiments like that.
Okay.
I forget. I think it just got too intense. I think it was supposed to last 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, it just got too intense.
It lasted 3 days, I think.
Yeah, it was either 3 or 4 days.
It was like 3 or 4 days that it lasted. Out of 2 weeks, it got too wild in like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
and they had
that's
to
just
stop
insane to me.
They had to stop it. Yeah. You'd think they'd at least last a week. Like no, like in 3 or 4 days.
They snapped like that. They said, "Oh no, you like, get on your knees. You better listen to us. You better abide by us."
Yeah, and the prisoners lost their minds.
Yeah, naturally.
Because
after being, I don't know,
they were broken down to
trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's insane. That's such an interesting experiment.
Another one that I like to talk about sometimes is the Mandela effect. Now I'm sure you know about
Mandela.
That. Oh, Mandela. That's a fucking flower.
It's named after after Nelson Mandela.
Yes, the man himself.
The man of steel. Nelson Mandela.
Anyway, yeah. So the one thing that really got to me, just because this one hit so hard, is the Bernstein argument.
Really?
You know about that?
Yeah.
What? Like,
it was always Berenstain. No, it was always the Berenstain.
It was always Berenstain, but
it was always Berenstein to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always knew it as Berenstain. Yes.
The Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember I was in Danville, so it's not... I was in a really secluded neighborhood, whatever.
Yeah.
We would say Berenstein, because that was it.
Well, it just sounds more like a last name.
Yeah,
Berenstain.
Berenstain just sounds clunky.
It just sounds terribly odd.
So I guess if anything, someone thought of it and maybe that was a wave. Oh hey, let's just call it this, and then everyone just started calling that. I don't know, but
so the
that was a thing.
Mandela effect is
essentially How can I explain this?
It's when a large group of people remember something.
They remember something that was actually from an alternate timeline or an alternate universe. Essentially, that's what they believe.
That's what they believe, but it's basically like. A large group of people remember something very specific, and they remember it a certain way.
For instance,
but
okay.
It hasn't. It's never been that way.
Yeah, no, like Luke, I am your father.
Yeah,
never said it.
Never said
ever.
That. It's no, I am your father. That's another example of the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
In Queens, We Are the Champions. People think at the very end he says of the world, but no, at the end when he says We Are the Champions, it ends at We Are the Champions.
I actually didn't know that one, but to be honest, I always
thought... that's a confusing one. Because he does say, we are the champions of the world in the middle of the song.
Yeah, of the world. And then there's not an interlude, but, it does this thing. Whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen at the end, and people think that it ends on that.
Yeah, no. I can understand how that one can be kind of misconstrued, more or less.
What's another big one?
There's that one.
Oh, well...
What was the Shazam movie?
Well, let's talk about what it's named after.
Okay, what? Nelson Mandela?
Yeah. Okay. Because people believe, people believe that Nelson Mandela died a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
In prison.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone remembers that.
Yes.
And the Mandela effect really came into fruition when Nelson Mandela actually died in, I forget what year he died, 2014?
Very, not so far ago.
Yeah.
Not so long ago.
When he actually died, everyone was like, what the hell?
I thought this guy was in the prison.
Everyone thought this guy died a long time ago.
Yes.
Until they found out about his actual death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, a large group of people believed in one thing, but that's not actually what happened. What people believe this is some sort of time loop or some sort of alternate
almost like a break in time.
Also, some sort of alternate timeline crossing into ours.
Yeah.
So that maybe
intertwined,
what we did believe was the case, but some sort of issue in time changed it. So we remember something, but in this timeline that we currently are in, it's different.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I just burped. I don't know if the camera...
Could have picked that up, to be honest. Whatever.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Another thing I think about is, you ever hear the story about the guy? He was a... I don't remember what year this is, but he had a passport.
This is the man from Tarad.
Yes.
I told you about this.
Yes, but also I heard about it before. Yeah,
but we talked about this before.
We probably did. Yeah, for sure. That shit blows my mind.
I remember. Actually, this is cool.
Huh?
I remember actually. You and I talked about this.
Yes.
We had a real nice conversation about this.
Yes.
And after this conversation was when I decided we should do a podcast.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I remember this. I remember we had a really nice conversation about this.
Well, yeah, because shit like that it's wild. I don't understand. And then he was on the map. Mm-hmm. Everything looked official. Mm-hmm. But do you want to talk about it? You probably know about it.
So the man from Tarad is a story. I think it's true. I'm pretty sure it's true.
People say it's true.
People say it's true. It might be false, whatever. But it's an interesting story nonetheless. A man showed up at a Japanese airport with a passport from a country called Tarad, which does not exist. But the passport was official as hell. It had official stamps from other countries, including Japan, that he was currently in. So it's as if he flew into Japan and they were fine with it. Mm-hmm. He was trying to leave, and it wasn't. They were like, "What the fuck? This isn't a real country."
Yeah.
They took him aside. They were like, "What are you talking about? What is Tarad?" Mm-hmm. And he said, "It's it's the country I'm from."
Yeah, and he even pointed it on the...
He pointed it out to a map, and I forget what country it is currently.
It wasn't... I feel like it was part of Europe or something.
It was part of Europe, yes, some European country. But it's obviously not Tarad. So he looks at the map. He sees that where Tarad should be is a different country, and he's confused.
Yeah.
So they're all confused. Everyone doesn't know what's going on. So they keep him overnight at some hotel room.
Yes.
They have him, they didn't lock him up or nothing.
Yeah, no, they had him on lockdown from what I heard.
They had him on lockdown, but, they didn't, lock him up in,
No. They just had security by the
They set him up in a hotel, and they had security
Yeah, it was soft security, I guess.
Because he didn't pose an immediate threat. They were just we need to get this sorted out because this is weird.
Yeah, I got to interrogate this motherfucker.
So they had him in the hotel room overnight, and in the morning he had just vanished.
He was gone.
All traces of him had gone. What people think this was he could have been some sort of either time traveler or he just happened to be caught in some sort of wormhole where he, from another dimension, another timeline, another alternate universe, crossed over into ours for a little bit.
Yeah.
Where in his universe, Tarad is a country and it exists where he thought it was.
Yeah.
It's like a man, he just got lost in time.
That alone just kind of makes me feel really, really weird. Like, that's some Rick and Morty shit. But not only that, but it's like, I don't know. Like, what would you do in a situation like that?
What if I were the
Yeah, what if you went to, like, the Philadelphia airport, and you're like, oh, I don't know, you have something that indicates that you're from YMSing. And they're like, where the fuck is YMSing?
Yeah, and then and then you're like, what the...
What do you mean? I was right here.
You see, like, Reading and, like...
Yeah, you see Reading, Sinking Spring, you see West
and you're like, where the hell is
YMSing? Yeah, where's YMSing?
It's called, like, something totally different.
Yeah, it's called
Springfield.
Yeah, it's called Springfield. Whatever. It's just...
And you're like, what the hell? What are you supposed to do?
What do you do in a situation
and it's
like that?
What the hell went down in that hotel room? How did he vanish? Did he just somehow cross back
Maybe
into
someone got him. I don't know.
Somebody came and got him. Someone came and grabbed him.
I guess. I mean, what?
Rick came and...
Yeah. Come back. Yeah, weird stuff.
Yeah, Morty, you're in the wrong timeline, Morty.
What are you doing here? That type of stuff. That and, like, just time travel in general. I remember... Yeah, that is the specific reason.
I hate time... Time travel's interesting.
Okay.
I hate time travel as a plot device in movies.
Okay. Like, are we talking Men in Black time travel?
I'm talking any goddamn time travel because it's just too convoluted and there's too many loopholes to write a solid movie on.
Yeah. There are way too many factors to actually go on and make a solid plot.
Exactly.
I remember there was that one movie where the dude, he tried to, like, he figured out how to make a time traveling device, and he actually went back to, like, save his wife. Mm-hmm. And he saved his wife from being killed.
Yeah.
But she died another way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like...
Because then there's that theory, like, oh, something's supposed to happen, You can't cheat.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't cheat fate. You can't cheat, like, Final Destination almost.
Exactly.
You can't cheat death. You can, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I always had a issue with, say you go back in time to stop something from happening.
Yes.
Does that actually change the future, or does it just create a separate timeline?
I imagine it makes a separate timeline.
But then all you're doing is escaping one timeline to go to the next. There still exists that timeline where shit's shitty.
Yeah.
So isn't that kind of fucked up? You're just trading realities.
More or less. I mean, I know this is kind of like a little out of left field, but I think about, like, the Legend of Zelda universe.
Okay.
Because there was the one, if I remember correctly, where, like, Link he's the adult or whatever. There was some
Ocarina of Time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, like the actual, like, there were two different, supposedly somewhere in the timeline. I don't know if it's
there's 3 timelines.
There are 3. Yeah, exactly. There are 3. I don't know where they start separating. I guess it's at Ocarina.
They separated Ocarina.
Yeah.
Because they all separate between whether Link defeats Ganon, Ganon
and I guess that's where Ganon wins. I guess that would be Twilight Princess. No?
I think if Ganon wins, then it became If Ganon loses, it becomes Twilight Princess because then he comes back later.
Yeah, that's true.
If Ganon wins, then it becomes a Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Because then
that's true because you think of the guards.
He floods the earth and like whatever.
His evil spreads across the whole place.
I might be.
No, that sounds accurate.
But last time I did my Zelda research, that's how it split.
Yeah, here's Zelda research.
And then I forget what the third timeline is like. If either he wins, loses, or what.
Well, then you have Skyward
Sword is the first story.
Yeah, that was the prologue essentially, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but either way, like the idea of 3 different timelines, and then you have that. I'm sure you know about the multiverse theory. Yeah,
of course.
There's one where instead of having a podcast, we take pictures for people. Yeah. I mean, pictures of dogs.
We do that sometimes.
I mean, yeah, but, a little bit different.
There's an alternate universe where we have a live action podcast where we film it too.
Yeah.
Which people have been wanting me to do.
Oh, really?
Have people approached you for that? People
are
like, dude, you should put like Joe Rogan style.
I imagine people would, but only because like I have a lot of you know how I am with my facial expressions.
Yeah,
they're kind of out there.
Yeah.
So
naturally, it'd be cool also, but I mean, maybe like if we get to the point where like we have like our own set, like
because
I don't know, like this is interesting to look at.
No, this is this is not very interesting to look at by any means. I don't know. I like stuff like that though.
Oh,
I like gauging reactions. So creepypastas. One thing, like, I don't even remember the first one I actually got into. I think I found creepypastas through something that I actually thought was real, and that was the Lavender Town Syndrome.
Yes, the Lavender Town Syndrome was my first creepypasta.
Yeah, so it was your introduction as well. Okay.
I remember talking about that with you.
A
long time ago. I
ago?
remember you and I like got into that together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely got into it together. I mean, I think both of us thought it was weird.
We were both legitimately scared.
I was very scared. Are you kidding me?
Because like we were young as shit, and it's like
how old we were like 14.
Maybe like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And we were super into Pokemon.
Yeah.
And we had just started diving into like creepy internet shit.
Yeah.
So
I was getting into conspiracy theories about like aliens, things like that.
So it was a big deal for us. That's something that we were actually like.
I think it was
also and we were afraid of.
It was also the concept that there was a town in Pokemon that was basically a graveyard for all Pokemon, which insinuates that Pokemon die. How do they die? Probably fighting, and they don't get to a Pokemon Center in time. You have Gary's Raticate.
The whole Gary's Raticate thing. When I learned that really turned Pokemon upside down for me because it's obviously implied.
It's very implied, but here's the thing: if you're a kid, it's embedded in your childhood, but you don't realize it. And I think that's the part that really disturbs someone. You know,
when something's like it seems innocent at first, but then you grow wiser and you realize there's nothing.
These undertones. You listen to the theme and you're like,
there's
oh
something
shit, this is ominous.
in the behind the scenes.
Yeah, you have the white hand thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
They even had that in the anime too, which was a nice touch. I loved that.
Was awesome. Yeah, when they did Pokemon Origins, that was really cool. Gary's Raticate.
Yes.
The story there is you fight Gary on the SSN.
Yes.
And he has his Raticate. You're on the SSN, so the story goes, since you fought on the SSN, you messed up his Raticate. He didn't have time to get to a Pokemon Center because he was on the damn boat. So the story goes that Gary's Raticate actually died.
Yes.
You killed Gary's Raticate, which is horrifying to learn.
Yeah.
And to feel responsible for. Because then the next time you fight Gary,
he doesn't have his Raticate.
He's at the graveyard. Yeah. He's at what's the tower called?
Oh no.
In Lavender Town. What's it called? Isn't it just called the Pokemon Tower?
Pokemon, I think it's Pokemon
Something
Tower.
like that.
Yeah.
You fight him at that tower where all the dead Pokemon are buried, and he does not have his Raticate. So it's insinuated that he's visiting or burying his...
released it.
Yeah.
Or...
he's burying his Raticate, and then you fight him at the graveyard, and he no longer has Raticate. And he no longer has Raticate for the rest of the game.
Yeah. That's pretty fucked up for a kid's... That's pretty heavy-handed.
Exactly.
You have games like Earthbound.
It's not obvious.
No.
But when you realize it, you're like, well, I'm responsible for killing them.
Yeah, I'm literally a 10-year-old that killed another 10-year-old's animal that he fights.
Yeah.
He uses to fight. Things like that always got to me. Because you have that. There was also another one that I never really played, Earthbound. You know of Earthbound, though. Yeah. There's the final boss. It's Gigas, I think his name is.
Something like that.
It's the one that's an unborn fetus.
Yes.
Basically, that comes from the person that made Earthbound. Yeah. He went to a Japanese theater, apparently, and... he went into the wrong theater.
Yeah,
I've
heard this story.
Yeah, he went into the wrong theater, and I guess he saw some scene of some woman getting raped or something, and because of that, it scarred him, and that made him think of this crazy, grotesque boss for Earthbound. Weird, oh my god, what?
It doesn't even have a form. It's just like a shape.
Yeah, it's just it's all loose.
It's just like a screen.
Yeah,
because it's not even like a form.
It's pretty shapeless. It's just gooey. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Conspiracies and creepypastas within video games are always so interesting.
Yeah,
like the Ben drowned.
Don't even get me started on that. There's that one. Wasn't there another one for Legend of Zelda?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah, I know.
The only other thing that comes up to mind is Ben drowned.
Ben drowned was always a good one, but it was also kind of like...
It's also very obviously just like fake.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But here's the thing. Like, you know, it was fake, but then you would have the people that would reenact and make these demos showing like, I think if you like, how did it go? Do you remember how it went? I remember specifically you get lit on fire, but I forget why you get lit on fire.
And then like the Link doll is like following you around.
Yeah, it's following you around, and I think either that or you like turn into a lot of weird stuff. It's convoluted. It's been a while for me, but just like, I guess kids stories or kids media that has like a really dark history is always something that kind of like fascinated me in a sense.
Me too.
I'm trying to think if there's anything.
Remember
else.
Sonic EXE?
I
mean, that's not even a creepypasta.
That's literally a meme at this point.
Game.
This has been milked like beyond belief.
That's so funny.
It's like Sonic EXE like 7.
Yeah, that's just funny.
You have there's Tails.exe.
Really?
They had a Toy Story.exe.
The Tails doll creepypasta.
Tails doll. Yes. Yeah. Well, before I get into that one, which Sonic is this? I think it's Sonic Racing.
Sonic R.
Sonic Racing.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's that one, but I remember there was a Sonic where if you press a certain no, you're in the screen, I guess it's a screen test or something, and if you go into that and you put in a certain code, you get that screen that pops up, and it's like
really creepy one.
Yeah, and it has all the Sonics and it's all around in basically a frame.
And
it's
Sonic
bluish,
has like a weird
it's dark.
face.
Yes, and it has that creepy music. Here's the thing: I never played Sonic, but like even outside of that context, I would not find that music pleasant, no matter what.
No, that was creepy music.
Yeah, I remember one time I actually played
and
Sonic.
Didn't it have like some weird message too?
Yes, it said...
So I was thinking about Majin. I remember that, which means like something like demons, like in Japanese.
It did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm confusing this with Sonic EXE, but I thought it had something to do with God.
No, it was no. That's I think.
Yeah, that might
confusing
have been.
That with Sonic EXE.
I am God.
No, that one had like some weird message that had something to do with the word Majin, which I know obviously means like something like demons in Japanese. I forget exactly what. I remember that. I remember learning about that.
Yeah, because that one just threw me completely out of loop. Because it wasn't something that like it was a glitch or like, oh, we'll do a reenactment and see how people feel about it. This is some shit that you could find on your own anytime.
Yeah.
I remember specifically like someone reviewed it and it was like, can you imagine being a kid in like 2004 or whatever, and you're fucking around with Sega, you're messing around with the game, and you get that
fun
screen
passcodes and that pops up.
Are you kidding me?
That would scare the shit out. I'd probably throw the controller and just run away from the TV.
I would be done. Are you kidding me?
Scare the living shit out of me. You ever have like anything fucking?
I had one thing that was kind of creepy. Not creepy, but it was like a little bit unsettling. It was just the timing. I remember one time I was playing Skyrim, and this was like in my old house, and everyone in my game was faceless.
What?
Yeah, everyone in my town was faceless. But I was like, okay, let me just load the game. Whatever, it's no big deal. Because it wasn't like something that scared me. It was just like, it's a fucking glitch. Weird, whatever. Yeah. I did that. I can't remember if I actually have any pictures of it, but I definitely took a picture at some point. But anyway, so I did that. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my game? Because I couldn't figure out why these people were headless. Well, not headless, but like faceless. I couldn't... Yeah, faceless, essentially. Even my character. Yeah. So I did that. And funny enough, I'm looking through my inventory. Really weird. Not saying that this is definitely the reason. But I had 666 arrows. No, I swear to God, iron arrows. That's exactly weird. How many I had. It was like 3 a.m. and I was like... That's enough. That's enough game for one day. I'm gonna quit.
I used to have sometimes my I guess maybe it was just finicky like with the game or the GameCube, but there was every once in a while when I was playing like I remember playing Sonic Adventure.
Hold on, before you continue. Luigi in Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
You remember how there's that one? There's the lightning, and then you see.
Oh, and it looks like Luigi's hanging. Yeah.
Supposedly, like I don't know if Nintendo actually debunked that either.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that was always something that was like, ooh, really, Nintendo?
Luigi's Mansion, one of my favorite video games of all time.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It's fucking awesome.
It's a good game.
What was I going to say?
You were talking about, oh shit, what were you talking about? I'm sorry.
I was about to say something. Like
you were talking about media.
Oh, no, something that happened to me a lot for some reason.
Yeah, with your...
I was always unsettled for some reason, like whenever I was playing GameCube really late, sometimes the audio would just cut out to where the music would stop, but like the characters like little noises would still play. And
like always, the little like say you're playing I was Luigi's
playing,
Mansion,
like,
you hear the...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like Sonic Adventure 2 specifically.
Oh.
Like I remember like playing a level and like the level would start and Sonic's full of stupid ass butt rock.
Yeah.
But there would be no butt rock.
There was only just be complete silence.
It would be silence. But you could hear Sonic's footsteps. You could hear like his grunts, like his jump movements, like, all that shit.
You could interact and you would hear like items.
And it was
item boxes breaking.
And like that would only ever happen like really late at night when I was playing for a while. I mean, obviously maybe it was just like the GameCube messing up, like
I guess
playing
for a while or whatever. I don't know.
But it was always something horribly ominous about that.
Huh.
I would just like, because like obviously the whole game is played with that music, with fun music. So when that's gone,
when it's gone, like, it's like I don't know if you're in, like,
it almost seems sinister. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why. It just seems it's just so unsettling.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's I'm trying to think. There was that one, and no, that didn't really count. Basically, I had a lot of weird experiences with New Vegas. New Vegas, I think.
Yeah, Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout New Vegas. Or maybe no, you know what? I think I actually looked into that. Some people, you know, like there's this perk in the game where you can make people like gory, like you shoot them in the face and their whole body will explode.
Yeah.
But another glitch, a glitch for the game rather, is that those people will still be alive. So they'll be walking around with their face and it's like completely blown up.
Oh,
and I think I might have had that happen to me once, just once. But I was like, ooh, okay. But they didn't talk. They were just like alive. Well, they were like dead, but like their eyes were like popping out or whatever. Weird shit. I never like when that happens.
I like when games intentionally put something a little creepy in.
What do you mean, like for like
something
adult
that's not
game? Not adult games.
I'm talking about like even kids game like, and it's not necessarily
something you're supposed to find.
Well, that, and it's not necessarily something bad. It's just a little something unsettling. Like, it's not like demonic or like sinister or anything. But
you mean like the monkey people or the ape people from Halo? You ever hear of that one?
No, I haven't.
Basically, I forget which Halo it is specifically, but if you like go behind this waterfall, you see this little group, this little family of little ape people, and they're like. Yeah, and they all look terrifying. But you could just find them, and you're like, oh shit, all right, there they are.
Yeah, like I guess that's cool and everything. Like,
just weird shit.
But I was talking like a specific example I was talking about was in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Oh,
there is that.
Oh, you're talking about the girl.
I'm talking about like the multiple ghosts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, there was I forget what the building was called, but it was all the way off to the side in some woods.
Okay.
And you would go in there, and it was an old abandoned, like, it was meant to be creepy. It was obviously creepy. You could find a bunch of ghost-type Pokemon.
Yes.
But if you did something very specific at a specific time of the night, like, because, you know, the DS was hooked up to the time.
Yes.
So if you did something very specific at, I think, midnight, at that house, you could see 3 ghosts.
Oh.
You would have to walk at midnight. You'd have to walk in and out of the front door 30 times, like consecutively.
What?
Yeah, no, you never done this? It was a lot of fun. I used to do it all the time.
There was one
I used to show people all the time.
There was one that I played for Pokemon X where it was the girl.
I know that one. We'll talk about that one after.
Yeah.
But this one, you would walk in and out of the front door, and then
30 times.
It was 30 times, and on the 30th time, if you did this at midnight, the game, when you walked back in the house, the game would stop. It would almost like it was a cutscene. It would stop, and it would show you that there was a person up in one of the rooms on the second floor.
But didn't they didn't move like a normal person.
They
wouldn't like
they didn't have a walking animation.
Yeah, they would just drag.
They dragged on,
and that is the shit I do not fuck with. They did that in the Babadook. No.
You do that, and then you could see like a little ghost of like another like NPC.
It was a girl.
It was the first one was like an old man.
Oh really?
Like an NPC, and it would just walk there, and it was like a cutscene because the game would stop to make sure you watched it.
Yes.
And then that, if you saw that, then that triggered the next one. So say like you immediately left the house again, then you'd have to redo it.
Yeah. You'd have to go.
But if you got that, then you have to go over to the kitchen of the same house and do the same thing. Walk in and out, in and out, in and out.
Okay.
Until you see the ghost of the girl.
Okay.
And the girl would do the same thing. She would stop, and she was like sitting at the table, and then she would just float off. And then there was one more, and then you walked upstairs and did the same thing in one of the rooms, and you could see both of the ghosts that you had just seen in one room, and it looked like they were talking, and then they just both float out. And that was it. And that was it.
Yeah.
Something like not a lot of people knew at all.
Yeah.
I found out, I watched like some YouTube video, and then I would show everyone. I would be like, yo, if I was like ever like at someone's, or I would change the fucking time on my DS just so I could do it like whenever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because like I loved knowing that, and I loved showing people.
It is cool. I'll give you that much. Like it's a little touch that's kind of like not too many people would find that.
It's like a little Easter egg. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
Creepy little one.
Yeah, creepy little Easter egg, but an Easter egg nonetheless.
There was that one, and then of course there was the one in Pokemon X and Y, where I don't remember what you had to do.
It was in a gym. You didn't really have to do anything. It was just implied.
No. I don't think it was in a gym though. I'm pretty sure you had to go into this place that was like a boutique.
Oh, the boutique. Yeah, the ghost of the boutique. Yes.
And the screen flashed, and it showed her dragging closer to you. I think she looks at you, and then I think she leaves. Yeah, I remember that. But the thing with that is, like, I didn't do anything to trigger it. I think I was just looking for someone, and I was like, wait, what the fuck was that?
And then she's, like, gone for the rest of the game.
Was she? Because, like, okay.
Or does she pop up in the other thing?
I thought because there was the spooky place.
There's the ghost gym.
There's the ghost gym.
You see her in the corner when you're talking to the...
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the camera switches to where she would have been standing.
Yes, and she's like kind of behind her.
And it looks like...
right?
No, it's almost as if the camera's at the ghost's point of view.
Right.
And then it looks like the camera, it like zooms in this walking way.
Yes, it goes...
As if like someone's walking towards you, where you just saw that ghost.
Yes. Oh my god!
I think that's the same ghost that you saw.
Yeah. You know what? No, because I remember that, and I was like, "Ooh, what is this about? Why that?"
It's so unsettling when you're like a kid playing that, like whatever. But like, it's so interesting. It's
I was like fucking 15, and I was still like, "Oh, what the hell? What is this about?"
I love shit like that. I miss playing good Pokemon.
Yeah, I remember good Pokemon. I remember the old Pokemon.
X and Y was the last good one, I think.
I think so too. I never actually played the Aloha.
Sun and Moon,
yeah. Aloha.
It was fun. It was fun. It was pretty different. Alola. Yeah, the Alola region. Sun and Moon was fun, but it wasn't all that. X and Y was the last Pokemon that I had fun with.
Now listen here. If they ever decide to remake
Diamond
Pokemon...
and Pearl.
I was gonna say red or green.
They've done that like 3 times.
They've done it once. They did
Fire Red and Leaf Red. They just had Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
But that doesn't count, does it?
It does. I had a lot of people say that it was pretty good.
Well, I guess I gotta play it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I was waiting for an official Kanto re-release or remake, essentially.
Yeah, I guess. But we're not gonna get that. They already fucking did that. Yeah, I'd much rather have Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. If that's happening, I would love a Diamond and Pearl remake. That's awesome.
I think I had Pearl. I loved Palkia for some reason.
I love Palkia too, but I had Diamond.
Yeah. Well, Dialga's pretty cool looking.
Dialga's cool, yeah, but I always liked Palkia better.
Yeah. Is there anything in shows that was kind of creepy?
Well, of course, there's all those little Courage the Cowardly Dog things.
Oh, yeah. Did that ever scare you as a kid? Because it never scared me.
No, it never scared me because obviously, that's what the point of the show was. It was supposed to have, like, this ominous vibe.
That never really, like, I don't know. I think I kind of picked up on that, like, because I didn't really watch it very often.
No, I didn't really like it.
No, it was like...
I wasn't a big fan of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That was probably my least favorite show, but if it was on, I'm like, whatever.
I would watch it if I had to, but...
Yeah.
Because I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it.
No. You could tell that it was like trying to be creepy, but it was something that was like...
Some scenes are super creepy, but that was the whole vibe of the show. Like, it was this creepy shit mixed in with, like, this comedy, so... Nothing really scared me because I knew it was just part of the show.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, think about that for a second.
Yeah. I knew it was part of the show.
Yeah. The one thing that always got me, though, was the barber. I think I told you about this before, you know. And then I got naughty, and you hear like the choir playing in the background as he's like chopping someone's hair off. Like obviously he's just giving a messed up haircut. You know, he's fucking up a fade. Yeah, that's what he's doing. But
wave check, who up?
Yeah, but it was just the music behind it, and he had this fucking grin that was like ear to ear, not a pleasant one either.
Nah.
You know.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember what that guy looked like. It was scary.
Another thing that used to scare the crap out of people was the butterfly scene in like SpongeBob.
The butterfly scene.
You remember because there was Wormy, but I
heard
heard that wasn't actually a butterfly.
No, it was like a bee.
Yeah, it was like a bee or something.
Like the live action butterfly that would.
Yeah.
Up. It was so funny though.
It was just really out of the blue, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like,
those little dumb live action things they throw into SpongeBob in the classic SpongeBob was hilarious.
Yeah, buns and thighs, and it's some ripped dude. I remember that one.
Nosferatu.
That one took me so long to get because I never knew what they were saying at first, and then I was like, oh, Nosferatu is like a Dracula type of figure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was so funny. I read one time I was at my cousin's house and there was like a power surge or something and lights flickered on and off, and like her and I just looked at each other and she just looks at me, she goes, Nosferatu. I just busted out laughing.
I love the little smile funny. He did too. He's like,
yeah. Oh, that was so funny.
Oh, jeez. I I can't really think of anything that was like too scary for me as a kid though. There was that. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to talk about.
What?
I don't know if you remember this, but there was a commercial specifically at Halloween time. It was a Trix commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And it started off like the rabbit, he like went into this haunted house and you hear this scream, this guttural fucking scream. It was like, ah! And then like it cuts to like the Trix yogurt and it's like, hey, buy some Trix yogurt. It's got like some
hell?
Yeah, like I specifically remember that only because I remember the scream and how like terrifying it was. Like I remember if I watch it now, I would still remember which one it is because
Was
it was
some like Wilhelm scream bullshit?
No, it wasn't like it was like
blood curdling.
It was
scream.
literally it was like something you would hear like not even in a video game, but like a scary movie.
Yeah,
it scared the hell out of me. Still does. That was about the only one that really got me though. Was there anything that really got you?
Like as a kid, like what I was afraid of?
Yeah. Like as far as like any type of media that like really. Oh, another thing.
What?
The Labyrinth.
Labyrinth? You know, I've never seen The Labyrinth.
No. Well, I watched it with my stepdad when I was like fucking. I think it was like 5 years old.
That seems like something that would scare me.
Yeah, because it has like all these weird puppets, but the puppets have like really bulgy eyes and they look almost distorted and warped.
Well, they're all the Jim Henson Company.
I didn't realize that either.
Basically Muppets.
Yeah. I didn't realize that like going in at all because I was like 6 or 7 and I was like, this isn't Jurassic Park #1, so I'm already like, what the fuck is this? And then you have these puppets coming out of nowhere and they're like, I forget one of the scenes, but it was like they were talking to this girl and they were like trying to get her to do something. It was just really over the top and crazy. It was like a fever dream.
R.I.P. my man's Bowie.
Yeah. Rip Bowie. But that was one of the things. I cut you off completely.
I forgot I was even talking about. Oh, what the hell scared me?
Yes.
What did scare me when I was little? I used to be scared. I used to be a little scaredy cat. I used to be scared of everything.
Really?
Yeah, I was afraid of everything when I was little.
You remember the time we we watched The Conjuring, I think? And you remember the knock thing?
Yeah.
And you did that at like 3 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, that was when because I was scared of everything when I was little.
Yeah, so you would like do it as a joke to like make everyone else scared?
No, I got over it really quick.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't afraid of anything anymore.
Oh, shit.
But I loved scaring other people.
Fucking asshole.
I was afraid of everything when I was little.
I was afraid of a lot when I was little, too.
My mom forced me to get over a lot of my fears by making me face them.
Yeah.
And that shit, well, I mean, for some people that could be traumatic, I guess, depending on like how far you take it. But for me, it helped. Mm-hmm. For me, I smashed every fear in the face. The only fears that I have now are things that I can't like face without like putting myself into like immediate danger.
Yeah.
Like natural disasters is what I'm afraid of right now.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that.
Yeah,
before.
last time. That's really the only thing I'm afraid of.
Yeah. I told you what happened to me. It was a similar experience. On top of that, I loved dinosaur movies. Mm-hmm. And in Hollywood Video, most dated sentence, there was this movie. It was by Roger Corman, and it was called Carnosaur. Basically, Carnosaur was this knockoff version of Jurassic Park that came out a year before. And it had the mom of the blonde chick from the actual Jurassic Park, which was like trippy, but whatever. Anyway, I watched it, and I was like, I can't wait to see these fucking dinosaurs. This is gonna be, well, obviously I couldn't, I can't wait to see these freaking dinosaurs. But I watched it, and it was just this gore fest. And as a kid, I was like, oh my god, insides? What is this? And after that, I started watching like a lot of B-rated horror films, and I was like, oh, this is really nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, after watching Chucky...
Yeah, I mean, just like exposing yourself to that shit more and more is just whatever. Yeah. So by the time like I remember like to get me over watching scary movies and like being afraid of scary movies. You just watch
a bunch of them.
My mom made me watch. She sat me down. She made me watch Scream.
Scream
was the first horror movie that I watched all the way through, and I loved it. It really took only that movie and watching that with my mom.
It had to be the right one.
It had to be the right one, and I guess I had to be in the right setting because I guess I just felt comfortable watching it with my mom.
Yeah, you're with your mom.
Yeah, so...
Well, what could happen?
Exactly. She wanted to show me, like, it's just a fucking movie. There's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
And then from that, I fell in love with horror movies. Horror is, like, my favorite genre right now. And Scream is, like, my favorite.
It's a good movie.
I love Scream.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the time me and Peter went to go see The Conjuring, I was all into horror movies. And
you were balls deep. The thing with you is, like, you actually, I wouldn't get scared very easily, but if someone like tried to scare me and like there's a possibility.
Don't let me find out that you're afraid of something.
Yeah,
because
I don't think I made my. I think it was because I like might have.
It wasn't even you. It was You would just happen to be there. I was trying to get Peter.
Yeah, because Peter was he was scared of anything.
Peter to this day doesn't like horror movies.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's no big deal.
It's okay. I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But I was just a little asshole back then. So I knew he was afraid, and I wanted to scare him.
You had it on what's it called, Zedge. Yeah. You had the tune.
I had the little music box. So I waited until we were all sleeping, and I played it. Jeez. Just to freak you guys out.
One movie that I loved, but also had I had a weird. Well, you know what? Let me get into that real quick. Mm-hmm. I loved Slappy the Dummy.
From Goosebumps?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I did, but I think it was because it was in correlation to Chucky from,
that and
Child's Play.
Yeah, the idea of living dolls is fun.
Yeah, but it was also really scary, and I like that for some reason. So I read all of the Night of the Living Dummies. I read the Horrorland because it had Slappy in it.
I loved the Horrorland
series. That was good. Uh-huh. But I remember after that I watched a movie called
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that movie, it's still really unpleasant to watch nowadays.
I watched it.
It was good. I still love watching it. It's just oof.
I watched that a long time ago with an ex-girlfriend, and I did not like it.
You don't like it?
I didn't think it was scary at all.
Really?
She really hyped it up. She was like, "Oh my god, you have to watch this movie."
You know what? People did that for me with I don't know if you were with me, but The Exorcist. I mean, not The Exorcist. It.
It.
I watched it.
I loved it.
The new one.
It's not that scary.
No, it's not that scary.
It's a fantastic film.
People really hyped it up for me, though. That's the issue.
Yeah.
They were like, oh,
a lot of people are afraid of it because a lot of people are afraid of clowns.
I don't understand.
You don't have the fear of clowns?
No, I don't. Okay, listen.
But here's the thing. People say that the fear of clowns stems from this, primal fear that humans have.
Okay.
Where we're afraid or we feel threatened by things that vaguely look human.
Oh, so you're talking about what's it called? The Uncanny Valley.
I think
that's what it's called. Yeah. Yes.
So that's why that and that's the same thing with dummies and dolls and stuff, because they look human, they have human features, but we're aware that they're not human.
For anyone, they're not real. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't really know anything about the Uncanny Valley, basically it's kind of you don't totally, your mind can't decipher if something is human or if it's artificial, fake, whatever. A good example of this is the Polar Express.
Ugh. I hate the Polar Express.
In a scary way, or
just the animation's so ugly. I hate it.
Yeah, I thought it was just. I remember watching it. It was just a movie, whatever. But I heard a lot of people were actually fucking scared of that movie.
Were scared?
They were scared of that movie. Not people. I mean, but kids. Kids were scared because they see Tom Hanks and he moves his mouth, but you don't see him. You don't see the stretching in the skin. Yep. You don't see him really emulate or make any type of expressions. And they see that, and it's what is this? Is this a person, Hanks, or is this not a person?
The Polar Express featuring Tom Hanks and A$AP Rocky. That movie is...
And A$AP Rocky. Shout out to my girl, Libby.
Yeah. That movie is just... I hate the animation. It's so ugly. The only part I love that is when they fucking Tokyo drift the goddamn train.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Uncanny Valley. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, I watched Dead Silence, and that movie... You know what got me? What? It was when the head of the lady, she would attack people. And it had a weird, type of
I don't know. That movie was just corny to me.
Yeah, it was definitely corny.
It was just way too hyped up, and it's not scary. It's not that scary of a movie.
Oh, back to It, though. That's what I was going to say. Back to It.
Wasn't that scary? No.
It was not scary. There was one scene. There was one scene.
But it was a fantastic film.
Good, yeah. Compositionally... narrative-wise,
so good.
Everything was great. The effects were fantastic. Yeah,
it was hilarious.
You had the kid from Stranger Things, and he was just swearing.
Oh my god, he
doing
was
crazy
so
stuff.
funny. He stole the show, man.
Yeah, he really did a good job.
Mm-hmm. It was a good movie.
It felt very authentic to.
And a very nice, 82,
I think, right?
And a very nice coming of age tale, just like any Stephen King movie. Stephen King novel or any Stephen King book. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
One thing I was gonna say was, the scene that scared me the most. Mm-hmm. Did anything scare you from that movie?
The only scene that scared me was... And it wasn't even because it was scary, but just because I think it was just
startling,
a cheesy jump scare.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a cheesy jump scare because there was a nice payoff, but it was just the imagery wasn't... Oh, no. Okay, so one thing made me jump and one thing scared me.
Okay.
Because there's a difference.
Okay. Yeah, no, there is. There's being startled, and then there's this is shaking me to my core.
The scene where they're in the garage and they're looking at the slideshow.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
When Pennywise pops out of the wall and he's like giant. Mm-hmm. That made me jump. Because I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that scary.
I think it was just more the fact that it was the progression of it. It was like, oh, you kind of see him in the background, and then he gets closer. Yeah. And then, oh, shit, well, now he looks like, oh, and he's just closer and closer.
And that wasn't scary, though.
No.
It was actually kind of silly.
Yeah,
but the way they did it in the movie, it was like, it made me jump.
Yeah. Also, the music kind of makes anything a lot scary. You have things like two of my favorite, and they both have a 2 in them. You got Resident Evil 2. One of my favorite scores as far as like scary video game soundtracks. Essentially, you have that, and then you have Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 specifically.
They're really good games at like setting a mood with just the music alone.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
But and then the scene that scared me was the scene where Pennywise has Beverly. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah. Because this movie is like
it's a little old, but like still
2016.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
No,
it's
17.
17.
It's gotta be because I was. Yeah, it's gotta be 2017.
Yeah, I think it might have been 17. Now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. So. The scene towards the end where they're down in the sewers and Pennywise has Beverly. He's like holding her up by her neck. And he's like trying to scare her. Yeah, and Beverly's like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. And Pennywise opens his mouth to expose the deadlights, which is Pennywise's true form.
Yeah.
The deadlights is what he is. So there's that scene. Yeah, he opens his mouth and his mouth it unzips and like his mouth like splits into like 3 things and like you just see within that there's like a throat with rows of teeth going all the way down, but then there's just those 3 lights in the middle. And then Beverly sees that and just goes completely like she just starts floating. Yeah, as he says they do.
Yeah. We all float down here.
She starts floating and she just like it's almost like he like took her soul like with that.
Oof.
He like devoured her soul or something just in that moment. And that I think it didn't scare me like, oh my god, it was terrifying, but that frightened me. Like that was the one thing in the movie where I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Oh jeez. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's that's real Pennywise. Like, that's not just like this clown
is true
makeup
form,
that he fucking puts
Pennywise.
on. Like that is the real terror.
Wow. Yeah. No, I remember seeing that, and it didn't really register with me. I was like, oh shit. Oh, because I remember he turned into a spider at some point, at least in the other
original,
one, didn't he? Yeah. He did that. Because
Pennywise's true form of the deadlights. Which is just 3 lights.
3 lights.
But he can take on whatever form he wants. It's just that he most frequently takes form of Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the 2 things that scared me in that movie.
There was only the one that scared me, and it was when the chubby
No, go ahead.
It was the chubby kid when he goes into the library and he's like going down into like the basement.
The eggs.
I mean, not really. That wasn't what scared me. It was this little boy, and he was charred.
Yeah.
He was like completely burned.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't really that it scared me. It just made me jump. Like, it was when the kid turns. He really quickly, and he starts lunging at the chubby kid. And I was like, woo, okay, go away. Just go away. I just didn't like the movement. It was just a little bit disturbing.
They did that with the editing.
Yeah, most likely, because you can't do that. But no human can make that.
And that's all over that movie. Yeah. Because they do the exact same thing in the one scene where Bill is in the basement because he saw the.
Oh, you're talking about when he like.
Yeah, because he saw the vision of Georgie.
Yeah.
And he sees Georgie in the basement, and Georgie starts screaming, and then it turns into Pennywise.
Yeah.
And then Pennywise does that shaky thing towards the camera.
Never liked that.
Yeah, that effect is all over that movie. They do it like 5 times in that movie.
I guess it was just more so the movement of the actual.
Exactly,
being.
It's creepy.
Yeah,
because it's unnatural. Yes,
you don't see it in real
life. Exactly. It just seems so. It seems supernatural, so it's scary. But fantastic movie.
Pretty, yeah. Like I know they're gonna make another one. I can't wait for that one. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Also, we're pretty close to
Are we?
Yeah, we're about to cap.
Jeez,
I kind of blacked out, to be honest.
Yeah, we got so wrapped up in this creepy stuff. I wanted to talk Oscars.
Maybe next time.
Whatever. Rami Malek won Best Actor. Green Book won Best Picture.
Shout out to the Spider-Verse for winning Best
Animated
Animation.
Feature. Black Panther for Best Costume Design. And,
shout out to my man Jerry Lorenzo for making those costumes or whatever. On that note, I hope everyone is having a great week. Take it easy. You have anything else to say, Caesar?
Baby, I love you.
You heard it from Caesar himself. He says he's loving all of you, every single one of you, and I do too.
All of you.
Take it easy.
Shouts out my girl, Haley. What's her name?
Haley Lappin.
Bezos.
Shout out to Alyssa.
Yeah,
Later, guys.
Yeah.